Alright guys, welcome back. So, uh, PS5 news leaks, according to the Wire, .com, they did a little story earlier today that, yeah, they got some information about the PS5. Now, after reading it a little bit, it almost seems like it's more of like PS4 Pro X. It seems more like an upgrade, which totally fine with. It just maybe it's just not enough details. It does seem like it's going to be way more powerful, but it almost just seems like an update, which, okay, that's fine. As long as it's more powerful, that's all that really matters. And because they're giving it a second name, that basically means now developers can just make games for the 5 and not be hindered by saying, oh, now it has to be backwards compatible with PS4. Kind of like what they do with the Xbox One X and the Xbox One and the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. You can make it somewhat more powerful, but you still got to make sure that it can play for regular PS4s. By giving it a new name and not just another upgrade, developers can just be like, all right, just the PS5, don't got to worry about the PS4. But for our PS4 fans, there's a bonus. So, according to Wire, that the new console will be backwards compatible with PS4 games. Awesome. Let's hope that also means that the other rumors about, being able to put PS3, PS2, and PS1 games in it are also true, because that would be even better, because then I could just have one console hooked up, play all those games. So right off the bat, they talk about how, more powerful CPU, more powerful GPU. Awesome. I mean, that makes sense. A faster speed and size, because, games are getting larger. They kind of use the whole Red Dead Redemption as their reference point, because the game was almost 100 gigabytes for the PS4. So that means it takes a long time for things to load and be ready for the system. So for the next PS5, they want a SSD hard drive because that speeds things up, and they say that the speed of it is beyond belief. So when they did a test to show like PS4 versus the new console, that they're just saying next gen, which we all know is PS5. If they switch names now, that'd probably sink them. That Spider-Man was able to fast travel from 15 seconds on the PS4 to less than a second on the next gen PS5. So, yeah, that's awesome. The reason why this sounds more like an upgrade is mostly because, it's backwards compatible with PS4, which is fine. No one really cared that the PS3 sounded just like an upgrade to the PS2 when you could play games on it, or the PS1 or the PS2. Still great. So, yeah, that's fine. The thing they talk about is that, they asked them about PSVR, and they say they're not giving up on PSVR. They want to keep doing it. And the old PSVR is going to be compatible with the PS5. That is awesome. So that makes me think that if you have a PSVR for the PS5, that even when they do come up with a new PSVR, it will probably just be a upgrade to that, so that they don't lose those PSVR fans. So like basically just, instead of changing the way the system works, it's just a higher resolution, better goggles. That is all you pretty much need. Like if the PSVR gets to the point where, it still worked the same way fundamentally, the only difference was a better goggles inside, so that the screens are higher res, then you could keep those 4 million fans and attract new fans without losing them. So hopefully that's the case. If you came out with the PSVR 2 and none of the games were backwards compatible with PSVR 1, you might lose a lot of your reach, and I don't think the developers would want to lose that reach either. So, maybe the idea is you can play PSVR on the PS5. Maybe you don't need the box anymore too. You can just plug it straight in. And if a new version comes out, it's just better screens on the glasses. Just a new way for the headset to work, or the next camera for the PS5 will be better for even the old PSVR because they'll fundamentally keep it the same. Hopefully that's the case. If it is just an all-out better PSVR 2, then, it'd have to be a lot better for people to want to switch over. So that's cool. What else? So new CPU, new GPU. I think the big thing is just the fact that, it's backwards compatible, it's more powerful. They say it's not coming out this year. Okay. So does that mean next year? Ooh, the other big thing too, that it will support 8K graphics. Now, they don't say so much about what that means. Does that mean it's natively just it can be 4K, not like an upsample or anything else? It's strictly you can do 4K graphics because 8K graphics because that would be amazing. Granted, no one has 8K TVs, but it's good that Sony is thinking of the future. This way, they know they have a console, it comes out, and it's future proof for mostly, I guess, because next generation TVs 8K isn't even really around, so we don't got to worry about it being like the PS4 where it's like, hey, 4K TVs are kind of a thing now. I know 1080p is fine. Now they're like, you know what, 8K it can handle, which for us fans that might be good because if the console can handle 8K, it doesn't mean developers have to do 8K. They could do 4K and use the rest of that power for something else in game. So, most companies may not even do 8K because most people don't have 8K TVs. But now they have all that extra resources to do more for 4K if that's how game development works, which doesn't sound far-fetched. Other than that, they didn't really talk about too much. It just seems like they really just wanted to beef up the PS4, which is probably better if it's really just like a slight upgrade. Not a slight upgrade, but like not much of a change in the way the hardware works, the PS4 to PS5. That may mean for developers who've been working on the PS4 that they're familiar with it already. Now it's just about beefing up the components and be like, all right, now we can do this because we have that extra power without having to learn a whole new architect or anything like that. Like they used to complain back in the old days with like Sega Saturn and stuff like that. It may just be easier for developers now to be like, oh, it's just a more powerful PS4 with a lot more power. Okay, works for us. We'll work on porting our game over. Does that mean we're going to get a lot of PS4, PS5 games at the end that are on both consoles? Probably, but you know what? More power to developers. They get two places to go. So, in all, yeah, it sounds like a PS4 Pro XXXXX. But, that's fine. More powerful console named PS5. Backwards compatible PS4. Can play PSVR. I'm glad they didn't just get rid of that. Now, it's the price. I would imagine it's $499. No less. I'd be shocked if it was less. I don't think people nowadays are scared of a $499 price tag like they used to be, because people upgrade their cell phone like every year for thousands of dollars. So it's probably gonna be $499. $399 would be more awesome, but I feel like, I guess it could go $399. Maybe. Guess we'll have to wait and find out. So what do you guys think? Are you happy for a PS5 coming out maybe next year? Are you okay with it just sounding like a little bit of an upgrade? But 8K is a little bit of an upgrade. But, how people are wording it as a little upgrade. To me, every console is just a little bit more powerful than the last. And if it's backwards compatible, that's even better. So I take that versus a whole new style of console and not being able to use it as my PS4 as well. All right. Have a good night, everybody. If you liked the video, hit the bell, thumbs up, subscribe, check out my other videos. If not, that's unfortunately. So, have a good night, keep on gaming, and I'll catch you next time.